Oh, hello again. Didn't see you there. But now that you're here, join me, because I have a very special treat for each and every one of you today. Because I am doing another Hearts of Iron shit. I am doing another EU4 to Hearts of Iron 4 Achievement Challenge. For this time around, we shall be getting Sunset Invasion, which requires us to conquer Lisbon, Madrid, Paris, London, Amsterdam, and Rome as the Aztecs. So in place of the Aztecs, rest in peace, we shall be going as Mexico. Let's get started. But I realize my industrial capacity as Mexico is nowhere near what it needs to be and able to launch a full-scale invasion of Europe. And so to get to that point, I will actually have to go through the United States. I looked up some tutorials and guides on how to do it, and I think I'm confident that I have the ability. And now that I have gone fascista, I can begin justifying my war goal against the US. So I got a plan, you see. Japan, they're making pretty quick work of China over here, and so I'm thinking that if I can join Japan's faction, which they will let me do, then that's a bit of a safety net, I guess, in case things go terribly wrong against the United States, which, let's be honest, with me playing, they probably will. So, you know, why not have some big friends on my side? Over in Europe, we got a full-scale war going on as the Allies actually honor their agreement with the Czechs for once. See, I don't know who I want to win, Allies or Axis, because I'll have to fight both. But I guess we'll see. Meanwhile, the United States has joined the Allies almost immediately after I declare war on them. So I guess we'll be fighting the Allies first anyways. We have broken through across the Rio Grande, and now we got a chance to surround some American troops. That's really my best shot at winning this war, is just to keep on taking out as many divisions as we can, because otherwise, I got no chance. We now have a clear path to Houston, and we've surrounded yet another division. The opening stages of this invasion are not going too badly at all. So I may have forgotten that the British owned Belize, and now they've been marching up through my south, and I just now noticed, so I'm kind of struggling to get some troops out to stop them, and this could be a problem. I have good news up north though, as I continue to take more territory and surround more American troops. But down south, the British continue to advance, and I really don't have much defense there. But I'm afraid to draw troops away, because then the Americans can push me back, and I don't know what to do. Yugoslavia claims Italian border. Yeah, real good plan there, Yugoslavia. Can't wait to see how that works out for you. I managed to rush out a bunch of newbie divisions before the British reached Mexico City, so hopefully they can save the game for me.
Mexicans! Tonight, we dine in San Diego!
You gotta love how ever since Waking the Tiger, when one China dies, another one just becomes the new China, and then all the Japanese divisions just become surrounded by the new China, and then have to fight another war against a second China every single time. Now I got the Australians sailing all the way across the Pacific to invade Mexico. I mean, there's an enemy right across from you, it's Japan, but no, you gotta sail all the way to Mexico to come fight me. Luckily, in typical AI fashion, they advance all the way up to a certain point, and then they just kind of give up. Literally all the British divisions, except like one, left. They packed up, went home, and now I can just freely reclaim all my lost territory in the south. The war over in Europe is really heating up. It's pretty much everyone's involved now, except for the minor countries. And no progress really has been made on either side. Back home, though, of course, after dealing with one British naval invasion, what does AI do? It increases its cancer levels, and then proceeds to launch a second naval invasion, this time on the west coast. This one's not as strong, though. They don't have as many divisions in there. They just kind of took a bunch of land before I noticed, and, well, at least it'll be easy to clean up the mess on this one. So as the Canadians now try their own naval invasions, I begin to surround Los Angeles, and I think we can all agree that I will be doing the world a great service by destroying Hollywood. I've contained the second major British naval invasion, and I am praying to God that that is the last one, because I'm getting really sick of them. Back over to Europe, the Axis have finally made a breakthrough in France, and even though the Eastern Front has actually remained quite static, I think we may see the end of that war sooner rather than later. I'm finally starting to get the major breakthrough I need in the US, as I got more divisions surrounded in the east, and I can pretty much advance unopposed now. Yeah, I've come quite a bit. Pretty much the only remaining US troops are now in the center of the country. The east and the west, I'm really just kind of rushing towards all the major cities now. Back over to Europe, we got the fall of Warsaw. Germany appears to be wrapping things up, so I wouldn't expect the Allied Axis war to really continue for much longer. I have made it to Canada now, and, well, the Canadians used up pretty much their whole army fighting me in the US. I'm also moving up the East Coast. We are marching towards Washington, D.C. Florida, not that many of you need to be down in Florida. And believe me, I am doing you a service by sending you to the front lines and getting you out of Florida. At this point, there's really not much left for me to do except capture the remaining major cities that prevent the US from surrendering, as I've all but eliminated the entire US Army. Soviet volunteers are defending Washington, D.C. Who the hell would have ever guessed that would happen? Here are the last remaining holdout cities in the US. We got Philadelphia surrounded, and we're marching towards New York. The Soviets are collapsing, and this war should soon be over.
So, 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
Wow, that is all the equipment they had? Jesus Christ, no wonder I could beat them. Republican Spain has joined Mutual Assistance Bloc. What is that, Communist China? Yup. So I guess that means we're at war with Spain now. Man, you fucked up, Jose. This is how you treat your son? I will fuck you up, man. Well, I have gotten the Canadians to surrender. And now, the whole Western Hemisphere is under my control. I guess except for like Alaska and stuff, but that we'll deal with that. Well, the Japanese are making a nice little push against the British Raj. But once again, over in China, the Chinese are pushing them back. So I'm gonna have to do something I probably didn't want to do, which is go help the Japanese in China. But first, a little detour through Guatemala wouldn't hurt. I mean, it doesn't really help me strategically, but hey, it's free factories, so why not? The Axis war against the Soviet Union has also gotten underway. And well, the Germans are actually losing. Well, it's been about 10 months or so since the start of the German-Soviet War, and the Axis are making a nice counter-push. It's the Hungarians, of all people, leading the charge, even though it's probably German troops are just in Hungary, but we'll just ignore that fact. Let the Hungarians have their moment. Yeah, I just couldn't rely on the Japanese to actually get the job done, and while I may not need them necessarily to finish the war, it certainly would help. So I'm going to be landing troops in Asia, and we're going to help them finish this stupid Chinese war once and for all. I'm basically fighting by myself here. There's like no Japanese divisions anywhere in mainland China. Like, what the fuck is the AI even doing? I really don't understand how the Japanese have done this bad. I mean, the Chinese troops are just so under-equipped and so poor. I'm just surrounding divisions left and right. It's like an absolute slaughter. Really, how is this still going on? I advanced about as far as I possibly could with one army, but now I'm forced to bring over a second army to finish the job because, well, my advance has been spread too thin, and I just can't push anymore. The Germans have defeated the entire Soviet Union in the amount of time it's taken Japan to advance halfway across China. Luckily, though, that means the Axis troops can now support us from the western side of China, and maybe we can finally defeat them for good. Yeah, the Axis troops pushing from the west have certainly helped, as India has been taken out of the fight. China has all but collapsed. Vietnam, well, that's got no resistance there whatsoever. And I think this war is finally coming to a close in Asia. The year is already 1945, but with the fall of Singapore, after having attacked no one with a city that is my actual objective, I can finally begin attacking people to complete the objective. But man, check out how strong Germany and Italy have become. Those will be the main two people I'll be fighting after I conquer the UK. And I would say this challenge is a bit too much for just one part. So once we take Singapore here, that will be it for part 1. Part 2 should be just around the corner, where we complete the real challenge and complete the Sunset Invasion. Hope to see you there.